Alright everyone, I want to thank you all so much for watching this video here in Scotts Bluff National Monument here in western Nebraska. Let me tell you folks, my entire experience here at Scotts Bluff National Monument really changed my perspective on the state of Nebraska. Like, this is amazing. These land formations here and everything that this place offers is just so amazing, and it's really hard to put into words to describe how unique this place is and how much it really adds to the scenery around it, and just so much of the important history that took place here roughly over the last 200 years, give or take, is just amazing to think about, and just to experience this is just something I will never forget for the rest of my life. So all these photos that you see here that I took were taken from the summit parking area on top of the actual Scotts Bluff here, so that's really cool to see the surrounding landscape here and everything in Scotts Bluff National Monument. And then I also will have many pictures coming from the actual visitor center that you see down below there where the video began. So it's just really awesome seeing all these landmarks and everything that took part in all the American exploration out west, and just seeing how these played a vital role in the Oregon, California, Mormon trails, as well as the Pony Express, and then the Transcontinental Railroad was also constructed just south of here and everything. So there's just a lot of history that took place, and I can just imagine all the stories that all these immigrants can tell, especially when they started passing through this area, because really these were the first major obstacles along the California and Mormon trails, as well as the Oregon Trail, that all headed westward from basically out there where Missouri is. And then of course the first few hundred miles were pretty easy as they crossed the Great Plains, but this was really the first sign of things to come, especially if you kept going west towards like the Rocky Mountains, of all these sudden elevation changes that you see here, which probably really stood out, especially after they traveled across the very flat Great Plains. And then of course you had these bluffs here, which probably really took people by surprise when they first saw them. So yeah, just being on top of here and then seeing the city of Scotts Bluff out there in the distance, which is just really cool to see how like the North Platte River Valley is completely flat, and then you just have these bluffs here that just stick out around the surrounding landscape. It's just really awesome, and just something you would not expect, especially if you don't really know Nebraska too well. And here you can obviously see all these like plaques that talk about the river route that all these historic trails follow, because they mostly followed the North Platte River that went west towards the Rocky Mountains, because they always wanted to follow like these water sources and everything like that to make sure they had reliable drinking water. And what's funny is like when they were following these water sources thinking that, you know, they were going to help them, a lot of times it did the opposite, and a lot of people ended up dying of dysentery because of the unclean water that they were drinking along these trails that were headed west. And I'm sure a lot of you have played the computer game The Oregon Trail. It was a very popular thing when people were going to elementary, middle school, and even into high school, because it taught you a lot about the experiences that were here on the trails. And the Scotts Bluff National Monument was actually, I think, one of the landmarks on the Oregon Trail game. And I know for sure Chimney Rock, just to the east of here, was for sure in the game, but I'm not too sure if the actual Scotts Bluff was in the computer game itself, but it's still the same general area, so that's pretty cool. And one thing I want to do here is give a little shout out to the YouTube channel Mr. Beat, who I've actually collaborated with on a video a little over a year ago about the interstate highway system. So he actually drove the entire Oregon Trail, just over 2,000 miles long, in a Tesla in about 8 days, I think it was just over a week or something like that. And that's just amazing that he did that, and it's honestly a very good video that I highly recommend watching if you really want to get the full Oregon Trail experience with modern technology and everything like that. So big kudos to him, and he actually spent quite a bit of time here in the Scotts Bluff area, visiting the National Monument and Visitor Center and Museum here. And this is just a classic scene that gives off so much Oregon Trail vibes right here. This scene is just epic, with the wagon wheel right there, with the big bluff in the background through Mitchell Pass. This is just classic Oregon Trail stuff right here, and it's just amazing that like something like this is in Nebraska. So I would really appreciate it if you guys would go watch my friend Mr. Beat driving the Oregon Trail in a Tesla. He put a lot of time and effort into the video, and it's honestly probably one of the best videos I've ever seen of anybody really driving these historic trails and like modern equipment and everything like that. And the video is just under 2 hours long, so it's going to be a very long video, but it's very informative, and I highly recommend that you watch it if you have the extra time. It's basically like watching a movie, and it's very well produced, and I'll give him all the credit in the world for that. And I hope you guys enjoyed that video as well as this video here as well. And I'm just going to let the rest of the video play out here for all these pictures that I took at the Visitor Center and Museum here in Scottsbluff National Monument. The museum is basically dedicated to all the people that traveled on these overland trails heading west back in the day, as well as the Pony Express. And if you really like learning about this stuff, I highly recommend visiting a place like this. And one thing I'll say is, the one thing that really took me by surprise is I pretty much had this entire museum to myself. I visited it in mid-June of 2021, so COVID was still more or less going on when I visited this, but I don't know, I just really feel like more people should check these places out, because there's just a lot of history to learn about that took place in this part of the country that probably not the average person knows about. But yeah, this is basically like the way out west back in the day, and there's just so much history here that people wrote down. There's a lot of quotes in the museum from people that kept diaries and everything about their journeys. It's just an awesome place to visit, and I highly recommend checking it out if you guys have the extra time to. I just want to thank you all so much for watching this video. I really had a lot of fun making it and visiting this area. It was definitely an unexpected highlight that I did not think too much of before I visited it, but it honestly became one of the many highlights that I had on this epic almost 9,000 mile trip that I took in June of 2021. And one thing I want to do here is give a quick shout out to my Patreon. If you join my Patreon, every member gets early access to videos, and if you join certain tier levels, they get access to videos that are literally weeks and months and sometimes even a year out in advance, especially for future seasons here on this channel. And it's just a great way to go and support me above and beyond YouTube here. Of course, all the money that I make from there goes towards future road trips. And another thing I've set up for my YouTube channel here is Super Thanks, and it's literally located just to the right of where you like my videos. It's basically just a way to tip me out if you feel that I've earned it for each video going forward. And then of course all the money that I make from there will go towards future road trips and other content on this channel as well. As always, folks, I just want to thank you all so much for supporting me through the years. I recently hit 19,000 subscribers, and I'm already closing in on 20,000, which is just amazing considering how I started this YouTube channel almost 13 years ago. It'll be 13 years later this year, which is just crazy considering I started this channel when I was just 15, and it's just amazing to see how much it's grown since then. And I just want to thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all have an amazing day, and take care, everyone.